This is the position from the famous Game 1 of the Robert Fischer Boris Spassky Game of the Century in 1972 in Reykjavik, Iceland. In this position, Robert Fischer takes this h2 pawn and he basically traps his own bishop, and it is beginner's mistake. We will talk why this thing is happening, but before we will talk more about this match. Unfortunately, Robert Fischer is dead today, but Boris Spassky is still alive. I have one of his recent photos here. This is his recent photo. He is 86 years old today, and he had 2 strokes, and he said that he is currently divorcing his French wife, believe it or not. All sources said that Spassky is a gentleman, and he was close to Bobby Fischer, almost friend, as long as you can be close to Bobby Fischer, because Bobby Fischer was eccentric. In this match, Bobby Fischer had strange request. He had a request about the chess pieces, about the lighting, about the audience, about pretty much everything, and he didn't even show up in the opening ceremony. And he was more than 200 ELO points higher rated than Boris Spassky. So let's check out this game. Boris Spassky was white, and he opened the game with d4. We have knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, knight to c3, bishop to b4. Then we have e3 from the Spassky and show castle from Fischer. It is Nimzo-Indian Defense, Ragozin variation. Then we have bishop to d3, and we have c4, just exploding the board. We have short castle by Spassky, and then we have a knight to c6 by Fischer. We have a3, bishop to a5. It is the main line to take the c3 pawn, but in this position, Fischer played this bishop to a5 move, and you may believe that this pawn is free for the grabs, but it is actually not, because after that we have this variation, and after exchange in the center, we would have bishop to c4, and Fischer would play this queen to e7 move, and he would take this pawn, and he would mess the Spassky's pawn structure. So that didn't happen. Instead, we have this knight to e2, then we have dc4, we have bishop to c4, bishop to b6, dc5, and we have queen exchange, and after queen exchange we have bishop to c5. It is the symmetrical structure, zeros all over the place. Then we have b4, bishop to e7. We have bishop to b2, we have bishop to d7, and you may think that in this position you can take this knight and recapture this bishop, but it actually, if you recapture this knight, then we have this variation, and your rook is hanging, so black will be better in this variation. Instead, we have rook to d7, bishop to d7, rook a to c1, rook f to d8. Knight e to d4, knight to d4, knight to d4. It is exchange. It is the first game, so I guess that both of the players are okay with the draw. We have bishop to a4, then we have bishop to b3, and you may think that in this position Fischer can take this knight and take this 2 pieces for the rook, but you don't have to be that, because you don't have to take the rook. You just take the bishop, and material is equal. Instead of that, we have bishop to b3, bishop to b3. We have knight to b3. Then we have rook to d1, more exchanges. Like I said, I guess both players are okay with the draw. We have rook to c8, and both players had open files. Bobby Fischer on the press conference said that he believed that he had a little bit better position in this situation, because white rook cannot infiltrate, all the squares are taken, but black can infiltrate on this square. So we have king to f1, king to to f8, king to e2, just get his kings into the game. We have knight to e4, and now we have direct threat to bishop to c2, and you cannot block with the rook, and you will lose the bishop. So Spassky, of course, saw that. He played rook to c1. We have more exchange. Rook to c1, bishop to c1. We have f6. Then we have knight to a5. Just attack this b7 pawn. And we have important knight to d6 move, because b6 would just losing the c6 square for the knight. Then we have a king to d3. We have bishop to d8. We have knight to c4. We have bishop to c7, and we have more exchange. And this is the famous position from the opening of the video. Here Spassky played b5, and Robert Fischer, like we said, made the biggest blunder of his career. He take this h2 pawn, he basically trapped his own bishop. I don't know why this is happening. It is 15 Hungary the mistake, 15 Hungary elo mistake. Maybe Fischer wasn't mentally prepared for the game. Maybe he didn't even sure if he would play the game, and maybe he saw this variation that his bishop can go out, but it's not, because maybe he saw this variation. Just to show you what he may overlooked. Maybe he thought that his bishop would get out, but his bishop is in jail in both variations, so it is mistake. In the game we have g3, h5. We have king to e2. Now we have one interesting thing. Yellow bar jumping when the king is close into the bishop, but bishop is stuck either way. We have h4. We have king to f3. We have king to e7. We have king to d2, h3, fg3. We have bishop to g3, and we have king to g3. From now on, it's all matter of the Boris Spassky technique, and Robert Fischer decided to put his technique to the test. So we have king to d6, we have a4, we have king to d5, bishop to a3. We have king to e4, bishop to c5, defend this pawn, and we have a6, then we have b6. It is important move because b6 is the money pawn. You might think that why here Fischer didn't play b6, because Spassky had one resource here, which is to sacrifice the bishop, because his pawn is too fast and it will be promoted to the queen, and he would have easy win. Instead of that, we have b6, like we said. We have f5, king to h4, we have f4, then we have ef4. And this is important moment of the game, because game ended for that day and continued tomorrow. It was possible 50 years ago, because there was no engines like today, and Boris Spassky and Bobby Fischer was strongest people in the planet, so they could not cheat it. They could not cheat it. So we have king to f4, we have king to h5, king to f5, we have bishop to e3, we have king to e4, we have bishop to f2, king to f5, we have bishop to h4, we have e5, bishop to g5, we have e4, we have bishop to e3, we have king to f6, we have king to g4, we have king to e5, king to g5, just go after this g pawn, we have king to d5, then we have king to f5, a5, we have bishop to f2, g5, just trying to dislodge this queen from the battle, but Spassky just pick up this g5 pawn. Then we have king to c4, we have king to f5, king to b4, we have king to e4, just take this pawn, and we have king to a4, grab this pawn, we have king to d5, king to b5, and after king to d6, Robert Fischer resigned the game. Fischer resigned the game because it was hopeless. He may try to queening, but Spassky just block with his bishop. He go to the long diagonal. He just pick up this b4 b pawn, and he would queening and win an easy game. So that was the game one from the match. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you with some other interesting game. See you tomorrow. Bye.